a second. Hey, thank you, Ray, for joining us today with Black SD Magazine. You are one who's had a quick start in the entertainment industry. One that a lot of
Yes.
people don't get to experience, and they really covet it a lot. So I would love to talk about your journey, how you navigated that, but also how you stay current because there's expectations when you're a child star. Um,
Yeah.
and anything that you went through that growth, but you also been very vocal too. When you were on like what you call it, the Breakfast Club, you were vocal with Charlamagne and like something as a young man too, as a young man, like so I want
Yeah.
to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah. So honestly, my journey started, I grew up just dancing. I'm from South Central LA, and like that was just like the world, the culture at the time. Hip hop dance, like I grew up on like the Missy Elliott videos and just like popular dances and trends and things like that. So I was like hip hop dancing pretty much my whole life in the world of crumping. And then I joined a dance crew out here called Tommy the Clown, which started like the whole crump movement, party scene or whatever. And from there I got discovered for the group. The group we developed for about a year. Yeah, about a year in Compton,
Oh
which
wow.
is, yeah, and literally in a garage. Like we were living at our manager's mother's house, literally developing for a year, learning discipline and things like that. After that year, you know what I mean? Some people think it was overnight. It was literally a year of like recording, working out, dance rehearsals, all these different things that it consists of. And then from there, we just started to really focus on putting mindless behavior into the world.
Yeah.
And we did. And it literally picked up instantly. Plus, our manager at the time was Keisha Gamble, and she knew what she was doing. Before us, she created B2K. Like she knows this world. She understands it. So we just had really, talented people like her around us. So then the group, instantly blew up. We just started to, move. But since I was a kid, I've never been shy, and I've always been vocal.
Yeah.
And I think I get that from like my mom and my dad. Like they don't hold back. They
Yeah.
express themselves. So it's funny you mentioned the Charlamagne interview because I just seen it trend on Twitter.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I seen that, and of course I liked, retweeted. But yeah, I seen that. But I've always been that way. Like anybody around me, you can ask them like if I don't like you, if I don't care for your energy or whatever, I'll literally tell you like.
Yeah.
Even my friends now, they'll be like, "Yo, Ray, like the homie go come through. This is it, blah blah blah. He cool. I swear to God, he cool." Like they almost got to give me the heads up because they know, like
You're that
I, yeah, like
friend.
I'll literally be like, "Look, like I understand you're my boys. It could be John. Like I understand you're John's friend. I don't fuck with your energy, and that's just me.
Yeah.
Like so, and like you have to be okay with that. You know what I mean? But I'm just very direct, very blunt. So it's kind of funny you bring that up because like I'm known for that. Uh, but
No, I like that.
um but yes, I've always been vocal, and eventually the group ended. I left eventually because of my own personal desires and my own personal feelings towards the group. I think honestly for me it was a healthy choice because for
Yeah.
years I was like suffering with depression and I was going
Oh
through a
wow.
lot. And I honestly left literally the day of a terrible accident I was in.
Oh
I was in
wow.
a really bad car accident. And so it's funny, as much as I am vocal, there's a lot I don't even talk about. Like I'm just like really low key with a lot. But so I left then, and I kind of took a hiatus. Like if you go on my Instagram, there's years where I was only posting like 3, maybe 4 photos a year for about like 4 years straight. Like I wasn't, still to this day, I don't care for social media much. I'm trying to get better
Yeah.
at it. But yes, I was away from social media. But I think what kept me relevant is just always being a true creative and connecting with the people that support me. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of artists don't do that. Like I spent a lot of the time during like this quarantine trying to figure out how to connect with my people because I know I don't post as frequently as other artists do. I know I don't go on live as much, things like that. So like even recently, like I created a thing where I created an email where I can contact fans and FaceTime them,
Yeah.
you know? And like, so it's like, it's helping me get a better narrative and a better perspective on what they like from me and what they view, and you know, just different things like that. And I think honestly that's what kind of kept me relevant, just like being humble and actually caring about the people that support what Rayon does, you know. Because even when I was in a group, you know, being Ray Ray, which is a nickname I grew up with, but being Ray Ray, they don't understand that they were supporting Rayon the whole time.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned, a lot of those ideas in the group were mine, and you know, just like little things like that. So now that like I'm solo, it's like really time for me to express that and show them like I'm the same person, but now here comes the freedom of my art, you know, in a sense. But I just think just kind of being humble, being connected, being genuine is what kept me relevant still, where I can still do a lot of different things and still stay in touch with connections and things like that.
Nice. I love that. You know, and you gave a lot of things that we'll touch on, especially through this conversation. One, I want to go back to the development part, you know, because you got your start with that whole, you know, in the garage. That's one of those like 90s of, you know, so dead bad boy things where, you know, when you hear a lot of the unsung, that's what they went through. And
Yeah.
you see nowadays people are getting discovered because of Instagram and YouTube, and it changes the way that, you know, musicians and dancers and actors think they have to. Do you feel that Instagram sometimes takes away from people really honing in on their craft and understanding that there's still a hustle and it's not about the likes?
Yeah, I definitely believe it has its pros and cons. Definitely, I think that people have, because of social media, mistaken followers as like hard work or currency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, I remember one time, I do a lot of meditating, but I was like meditating one day and ended up having a really deep conversation with a friend. And I was like, if you don't have the bank to match your following, you're not working hard enough or you're not winning. You get what I'm saying? Because there's so many people I've met that got more followers than me, and then either my pockets are bigger or, you know, just like little things like that. But they're living this lavish, you know, lifestyle. And but I'm just kind of using that as an example to just say like social media almost have like created this like blur between reality and facade, you know what I mean? And I think when we were developing, and just like you said, like the 90s, there was no facade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything was real. Like we really had to grind hard. At the time, like being independent wasn't even like an option. Like
Yeah.
you literally had to go and perform for all these labels to be liked. And then you had to go get production deals and tour deals. You know what I mean? Like you literally had to work hard for them to go, okay, you're talented enough. Here you go.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like everybody got a microphone now.
Yeah.
And like it's like, you know, and like they're just making as many songs as possible, and then once one catch, boom, you know, you're a celebrity now, and then you think you're gonna run with that. Like, no. One hit record means nothing if you aren't talented.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be catchy.
Yeah. That's a good
It's
one. I
easy.
like that.
It's and also I learned this a while back. One time I was asked by someone on my old team, do you want to be successful or famous? And I remember I was the only one in the group that said successful, because I understood the difference. And then this person gave the analogy. He was like, yeah, because if you want to be famous, you could go rob a bank and be on the news today.
That's
You
a
know what I
good
mean?
one. Yeah.
And everybody would know you, and you'll be another little YouTube meme or whatever. But then what happens eventually? No one cares.
Yeah.
Success is being able to be a Drake, to be, you get what I'm saying? There's even look at Tyler the Creator. You know, he created this gimmick at first, and everyone was like, you know, he had a core fan base, but it was a lot of people like, all right, it's gonna die off, and then he got serious about it. I'm not saying he never was serious, but then he got serious. And now he's like a household name, and he's winning Grammys, and you know what I mean? It's really about the craft. If you don't pay attention to the craft, social media mean nothing, because you're gonna get that hit record and then you're not gonna last.
No, I like that a lot. And because, you know, when I was on the call, when we, right before you had with Jersey, when we were on the live, I have an entrepreneur program, and that's one thing I tell my entrepreneurs when they go through. I tell them, sometimes they also get mad at me because they're like, "You." I keep it so real. I tell them, "Look, you came to this point because you needed help. So I don't care what you've done until this point. It's about what
Yeah.
we're going to do to get you there. Because the issue is that we have this ego defense, this psychological mechanism that makes us feel so elated that we have started something. And I'm like, it doesn't matter that you start something. It's matter where you're going to be with what you started 5 years from now.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people who start stuff and then leave it alone.
Because it doesn't matter, and it's crazy you talk about the ego, because I'm really about things like that, and I really study things like that a lot, and I'm talking about conversations I have with my friends, kind of with them a lot, but we were just talking about how the ego is a reason pretty much everyone, like, it takes a lot for someone to be selfish, even in the industry, because of the ego. The ego represents self-worth, self-importance, self-awareness. It's all self.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And even I had to detach myself from ego because I come from one of the biggest African-American boy bands there is. You get what I'm saying? Like, we were, and during our time, we was the B2K, we was the Jackson 5, And as a new artist, I had to appreciate being a new artist. I couldn't step into the game and be like, look, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. No, like, I understand that I have an OG foundation.
Yeah.
But right now the focus is Rayan. None of that matters anymore.
Yep.
Because if the material today is bad, it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Not just gonna be like, oh, no, we're gonna listen because he's Ray. No. They're gonna be like, damn, like, this nigga sucks and he was in that group. You know what I mean? So like, so I'm glad you spoke up on that, because that's very important. People get too stuck on the past.
Mm-hmm.
People get too stuck on, like I was saying, hit records or a cool dance or whatever, and think my next record gonna hit. Is not.
Exactly. And I think that's a big thing when it comes to, especially in our community. We come from a lot of times of nothing. So when we do get a little something, we covet it like it's Lord of the Rings, like my precious, and we don't want to share. Precious. Because we don't want to share. Someone says, Rayon, how did you get there? And then there's an alternate universe of you where you're like, nah, I don't tell. But you want to see other people see them successful. So you're like, hey, go this route so you don't have to make the same mistakes. But it's so hard now because people want to be so successful or so famous, where it's like there's only room at the top for one. It's like, no, you're in your own lane.
Yeah. The world is so big, and if you truly believe that you are in your own lane and you are original, you don't have nothing in the world that should make you hesitant.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't feel like I have competition, not in an egotistical way, but I just believe in me. You know what I mean? And like you said, yeah, I do. I believe I want to see everybody grow.
Yeah.
I have people that I'm not friends with, and still to this day, like, please be successful.
Right? I still got love
like,
for you. You just can't be in the same
exactly.
space.
I have a journal that I write in, and when I left the group, like maybe like a year or two later, or I want to say maybe a year, the new Mindless Behavior came out, And though I've never seen any of their work or paid attention to it, I literally wrote in my journal, like, I pray you guys are successful. You know what I mean? Like, because like everyone should be able to glow. Everyone should be able to not just glow, but grow. You know what I mean? And like you said, people get so caught up in like their selves that they don't want to share. But like, you understand, like, Steve Jobs couldn't have had Apple without a team.
Yep, exactly.
Kanye can have Yeezus without a team. You know what I mean? Like even now, like, though I'm working on my project and like I'm about to shoot a video, my best friend John, he models and he's amazing at styling. And like, he wanted to really get his foot in the door with styling. So I was like, yo, I'm going to bring you on the team, instead of like reaching out and trying to get these, because I know big stylists that work with major artists. Like, no, it's not about that all the time. You got to lift your people and like let them know and give them opportunities. You know what I mean? Because even information is opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because you can't touch everybody tangibly and like really help them, but information can guide them.
No, definitely. I think there's a book. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I tell all my entrepreneurs that to start with. It's called Start with Why, and it's a really good book. It's about business and being a young businessman yourself. The reason why, because I tell them all the time. I ask them, so tell me about your business, and everybody leads with their what. They'll say what. I'm
Yeah.
a singer. I'm a this. I sell cookies. I sell whatever. I say you never told me who you are and why you do what you do. I said because your what is generic. Everything we
Yeah.
do in life is always a carbon copy of something. It does not matter from, Facebook, Friendster to, MySpace.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say, but your why, your who, like who you is, your story is unique, what you battled and why you chose to go a certain route is what people sell. And so I always tell them lead with that because they go always with this what, and I'm like, but I don't even know who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, I don't even know who you are. No, yeah, that's so true. We're so like-minded. Like these are the conversations I've had before. Things I think about. Like I was like, even when you're original, nothing's truly original. Like the airplane was modeled after a bird, something that already existed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like, or even like cartoons, like you could create any character, and they could have 20 eyes and 30 tentacles, whatever, and like tentacles come from an octopus. Everything has eyes already. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
so it's almost like how unique can you make it?
Yep.
More so. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I just have to bring that up because a lot of things you're saying literally relates to like what I'm talking about daily.
Oh no, I definitely. That's the thing because I try to because I see so many young entrepreneurs come in, even older ones when they're just doing their stuff, and that's the thing, the why, the who, because and not even to get taken on there. I would love to even go further. You talked about depression, and going through
Hmm.
that, and you learned that, and you noticed that early on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something really big that we don't talk about in the community. Do
Hmm.
you feel that there should be even more of a push when it comes to like these platforms? Publications like myself that we really talk and dial in on the state of depression in like the African American community?
Oh, absolutely. Because I've I've just more not learned, but more so realized that a lot of creative people stem from a sad place.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned that a lot of creative ideas stem from a sad place. Um, and just me personally, I know that my foundation is inky. It's a very dark foundation. I call it void. It's like my own term for it. But
Mm-hmm.
I learned to appreciate love and happiness from a dark place. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of artists are going through a lot of different things, and I feel like that should be vocalized more because you never know what someone's going through. Like I was in a group, and even after a group, I had people talking to me, and like I'm like the light in every room, you know. But like behind the scenes, I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot. Like people don't know, like I've had different spells where like I was suicidal, you know. I was slipping to depression so bad that like I'll be in I'll be in the house or like a room for so long, so just alienated that I will walk outside and literally get anxiety because things were too much. Like
Oh wow.
just small things like wow, like there's too many cars, there's too many people, there's too many trees, like everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how bad my depression was at one point. And I meet a lot of different artists, and just me being the type of person I am, somehow I always get the deeper side of people out, and like
Yeah.
we talk and they be like, yeah man, and like this is going on and I feel this way and this way, and I realize it's so common in the entertainment world.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely feel like that's something that needs to be vocalized more. So like I appreciate it when I see like Tyler talk about it, or like Billie Eilish or Lana Del Rey, and like these artists that actually express it through their art.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am when once I drop this album and people hear it, I'm not holding back. I'm being very vocal about everything, how little moments of how I felt about the group. I'm talking about so many different relationships I had, with women. My relationship with my brother, who's literally just he's in the streets. You know what I mean? Like he's a real LA little gangster, like like, and I'm just like vocal about all these things because I've learned that my art was a way for me to, get my depression out or like my sadness. But I definitely feel like all platforms should touch on that more, but more so not be afraid to touch on it. I
No.
feel like a lot of people get um too hung up on like we got to be so happy and giddy. That like no, let's like actually connect with people what
Yeah.
they're dealing with every single day.
Yeah. I
You
think
know?
because that facade you were talking about with Instagram, they treat the first 9 blocks as if it's supposed to be, the carbon copy of Happyville for people, and that understanding that you will do more good for people just to hear about your struggle and not to just see your success or your quote unquote perfect life.
Hmm.
So
No,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because like, yeah, social media is almost like this. It's like a gate. You know what I mean? Like, because like I said, like you meet these people in person, they're not what you seem at all.
You ever had any experiences like that?
So many. like so many experiences. Like I mean, I'm not gonna like name drop. I remember I met this one girl, and like you're on her Instagram, and she's like brand this, brand that. She's like on a yacht, da 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 da, whatever. And I was around her, and she's like talking to her friend. She's like, "Yeah, let's do the yacht again," blah 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 blah. And she's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna all pitch in and rent it for an hour so we could take photos and blah blah blah." And I was just like,
Shut up. You gasped.
"Oh my god!"
You felt bamboozled.
Yeah, I was like, "You hit me with the fucking okie doke." That's crazy. But no, yeah, but it's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's different. Like, I could see like films or like music video. I get
Yeah.
it. You got to rent a place here and rent a car. That's understanding. But you're on social media acting like this is your life.
Wow.
This is your I've seen it so many times. Like dudes flexing jewelry, and you meet them in person, and the jewel's not real, and they got it from this person, or it's their homie, and I just like, all right, man.
He said,
Like,
don't,
dude,
don't invite Ray back to this party. Please take my name off the list.
like you can have it.
You can have that. You can have
Yeah.
that.
Like you can literally have it. Like, but nah, yeah, like I just wish people were just more honest. You know what I mean? And I just wish people were more okay with being themselves through social media or just through any platform.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was gonna say like I just feel like that's very important, especially if you are in a world where you want to connect with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was okay. So my family, it was my little brother's birthday recently, and I had a family member over, and they were like, bro, like these shoes. I was wearing these Gucci shoes, and they're like, yo, these Gucci shoes are crazy. Like, nigga, I seen you in these like 2-3 times, and I'm like, yeah, like so what? Like they're my shoes. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just using that to say like people, when you have like money or like some pedestal, some stature, people feel like you got to be in brand new clothes every day and brand new this, and every time I see you, I got to be flashy. Honestly, I'm the type of person like I literally buy shoes for longevity and quality. So if I like these Gucci shoes, I fucking wear them 20 times. You know what I mean? And like, if I have this sweater, I'm gonna wear it as till the threads fall off if I want.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like you said, through social media, people feel like every time they post, I gotta be in brand new shoes, brand new pants, brand new hoodie, brand new this, brand new that, da da da. Like, no, that's not actually how life is. That's not how life go. You know what I mean? Like when you saw Steve Jobs, he was in New Balance and some Levi's. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I just wish people didn't get caught up in this idea of what like a lavish life or what like a cool person is, because it's not. It's literally not that at all.
No, definitely. I always joke, like, I run a business. So I tell someone that I say 9 times out of 10, you'll see me with the same shoes and jeans. They'll be clean though, because I will wash and dry at home, but it's going to be a different shirt. I say, because I don't even think about that. I said, I have to think about so many other things, and who I said, you can literally, I joke all the time. I say, I'm probably one of the tackiest persons you would meet in life, because I just not care. I said, because I worry about my team. I said, I wake up worried about my team, my house, my family,
Yeah.
all these things. So no.
No, like literally the same. Like I I have this Chrome Heart hoodie, and it's funny. I have other Chrome Heart pieces I haven't even worn yet. Like they're just like untouched. And people that know that, they're like, bro, if you don't wear your other, and I'm like, bro, like this hoodie is like my cape right now. Like when I go to the studio, I feel most comfortable in this hoodie. You know what I mean? And like it'd be hard for people to understand that. I'm just like, dog, like I don't have to be flashy and taking a photo every single second of my life. Like, no, put me on some sweats, some nice, walking shoes, and like a hoodie, and I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's the world is funny.
Definitely. Transitioning into after the group, was there any pressure? Do people put a pressure on, or do people put pressure on you to, well, you should be doing this right about now, or, because I feel, especially when you're a celebrity at a young age, they count your wallet before you count your wallet. Like,
Oh yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Like people are like, yo, it was either like join the group again or, bro, do you know who you are? You need to be doing this, you doing that. But literally, I knew it was right for me to step away for a second. I needed that, like I said, for my well-being, for my heart and soul, like because it was so much, and I was dealing with so much within. I knew just like stepping out right away wasn't going to be good for me, And yeah, I still get it today. You know what I mean? Oh, do this and like reunion tour. When do you drop your album? You need to do this for it's too late. Like, nah, it's never too late.
Yeah.
When Rayan say go, it's go.
I like that.
You know what I mean? It's like, what do you mean it's too late? It's too late for you, maybe? Like,
don't project your insecurities on me.
On me, yeah. Like, my life is still going. No, I have no time restraints at all. Like, I can drop whenever I want. I can do whatever I want. And it's funny. I was about to reveal a line from the album, but I'm gonna hold it. But it basically kind of talk about that a little bit, where I'm just like expressing that, like, and you feel like I should be doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, just little things like that. But yeah, I've never been self-conscious about like, oh, I should be, I have to be. Because I know, like, once I do it, it's gonna be known. It's gonna be present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate my supporters, and I appreciate the people that's waiting for me to drop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm blessed that I'm dropping as a new artist with like damn near 500,000 followers. That's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone starts like that. So I'm actually in a rare space. I'm in a rare opportunity already. So, but yeah, I'm not really worried about what people think I should be doing.
Nice, I love that. I know it's definitely hard because so many people. I mean, people do it on a daily, and they're just I don't want to say average as if like average is bad, but not coming from that background. So it's so important that they hear that. What has been things that you've been that you've been up to since the group and COVID? How have you been like coping with everything? Like being quarantined and still protecting I would say perfecting your craft.
Well, so after the group, when I was dealing with a lot, I spent my first 4 years composing an instrumental album. Literally violin, bass, cello, guitar, like drums.
You play all of those?
No, I had a team. I put together a team, but I composed and arranged everything. Collected with my best friend Sada, who did a lot of guitar and bass on the album, and my friend Sasha, who did a lot of like either synth or like guitar. But that was like the first thing I worked on, literally for 4 years straight. Cause like also, my son was being born, so I had moved to Indiana for like nearly 2 years. Like I literally got away. That was like the first project I was working on, and then I got during that I got pulled to work on a show called Howard High, and that was like my first like real acting experience, and I fell in love with acting, of course. So that was like the first thing. Now during quarantine has been this album, this melody rap album, I guess, yeah. That's like my focus right now, because I realized like now after the instrumental album I was able to project feelings through sound, because I felt like I had nothing to say. I was only feeling so much. now I'm at a point to where I have so much to say. You know, like even like kind of taking tracks off the album was like, I literally took off like 6-7 tracks, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like so the track list is only 11 tracks. But yeah, like I just had so much to say. So that's like my main focus right now. Literally it's done. All the recording is done. It's literally just about mastering and just like, you know, putting the final touches on it. Just being like a perfectionist really. But so that's what I'm focused on now. But that's like pretty much my main focus during quarantine, and just like learning a lot. I read so much. I read so many books. So I also just, you know, read. I be around friends a bit. Like I'm still working. I'm about to shoot like a music video, but just being very selective on who's around me because of the virus and, you know, things like that. But I think this project is like the forefront.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
that. You said a film too. So are you discovering more? I know you fell in love with the acting. So are you trying to even discover that more too?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Also another reason I was even composing is because like lifelong dream of mine says I want to score films.
Mhm.
I want to be able to make music that goes into films. But just on the acting end, absolutely, absolutely. It's funny because my last post on my Instagram was about like the Static Shock role,
Oh yes, I
and
saw that.
I kind of spoke on it a little bit. Basically, back in 2015 when I was in the group, like right before I left, really, I had auditioned for the role, and literally like maybe an hour or two later, I got a call from my manager at the time, and like I said, I'm just using his word, but he's like, "Yo, they loved you. I'm calling you to tell you like you're Static Shock. They want you. You are Static Shock." The whole little thing. So it's funny. I just seen like Michael B. Jordan's like producing it. I was like, oh no, like this got to be my role. I literally, like, I just, you know, I feel that way, and like, not in like an arrogant or selfish way, but I just, like, even in my post, I said like, if I even have the opportunity to audition again, you know what I mean? Like, I will love to. It would be an honor, because when I acted the first time in the TV show, I realized how much fun it was, how much I actually appreciated the style, you know, and just that world. And just kind of me just being so charismatic and just so open-minded that I am, it's easy for me to adapt to characters and fall into a world of like, you know, a theme of someone else's life. So that's something I do want to, you know, step back in, and there's like opportunities on the table, you know, that's been coming around. So yeah, that's something I definitely want to continue to do for sure. For sure.
Nice, I love that. So, if you had to say, if in a perfect world, if you had to choose acting or singing,
Oh, uh, honestly, still it would have to be music.
music, okay.
It would have to be music only because even with music, it allowed me to still be in both worlds. Like I said, I would love to compose
Yeah.
and score films and TV shows, so I'll still get to be around it. I think it's so great, and it's such a freeing feeling to not be yourself for moments at a time or just for months or whatever, and focus on just a whole nother demeanor and mannerisms and just things like that. It's just really exciting to me,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, it still have to be music.
Okay. It's like an outer body experience for you.
In a sense, yeah, literally that. Like when I did my character LeBron on in Howard High, like I still got to play this wholehearted character, you know, who I am in real life, but like I was also like I got into drug dealing and being around the wrong crowd, and like though I come from South Central and like I had a little bit of that too, still it was nice to like really fall into this character and not think of nothing else and literally become LeBron, you know what I mean? And be perceived that way. You know, I'm on a set to where like Rayan doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Only LeBron does. How well is LeBron going to execute, and how believable will he be? And I really enjoy that a lot.
Nice. I love that. This has been great. I love it. This whole conversation it's been wonderful. I'm always like to be cognizant of everybody's time. So, we're at a good time. And I want to end with a rapid fire question. So this is always my favorite, especially with celebrities like yourself. So you have 3 seconds to think about each of them. Okay. So if you could choose one rapper to go on a song with, who would it be?
Roddy Rich,
If you could choose one female singer, who would it be?
Lana Del Rey,
If you have one producer that would produce your entire album, who would it be?
Mustard.
That's when you from LA. Huh? That's that one.
Mustard is so talented.
He is.
Bro, out of this world. Out of this world.
If you could be with one actress in a movie.
Whoa. Damn, why is that so hard? my mind went blank like this, like so fast. Well, that's a really hard question. Like I'm a film buff.
Yeah.
There's so many.
So many.
Like, I don't even know. Pass.
Pass. Okay.
That's a pass.
Favorite place to eat in LA?
Veggie Grill. Because I'm vegan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you're vegan. Oh, you are vegan? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I have to send you some. I'll talk to your PR agent, but we have a place called Maya's Cookies. It's Black woman owned, and she does vegan gourmet cookies. So I don't know if you have a sweet.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, I'll talk to after that, so she can get some sent to you.
I would love that.
Okay, perfect. So last question: if you could be a guest star on Insecure, would you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Perfect. Well, that's the rapid fire questions. Those are all over. Do you want to leave the audience with anything, any words of wisdom, anything they should be looking forward to besides this amazing album that's about to drop one of these days?
Yes. Oh my God, just keep falling. Yes. One, get ready for the album. If Love Died Every Day is going to be amazing. It's going to be beyond any expectations. Two, I know the world is really odd right now, and I love to use the word odd because it is. Don't lose hope. Just continue to just grow, believe in yourself. Stay quarantined the best way you can. 3, touching on the world being odd, besides yourself, care and sympathize for what's going on. You know what I mean? Just because you're in the house doesn't mean the outside world is not dealing with something. Like, it's even been hard. I've been on social media and I've been seeing the NSARS thing like that. It's so, like, inhumane. Like, it's been almost hard for me to even, like, indulge.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing so many videos and just, like, learning so much. Like, it's really distasteful, literally. So, just sympathize for everyone else around. If you can help in any way, please try. I'm even learning how to help, like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like the most amazing activist in the world to care. You don't, that. And just on a lighter note, like, you're you, continue to be you, continue to be great, and just continue to bloom and blossom, flourish, for sure.
Nice. Thank you for that. Those are great words to end